Hello guys, it's John Messenger to have a Bottleman unboxing. So we have Colamaru Energy DX, so I am a little late on this. It came out 2 weeks ago. I didn't want to order it right away because shipping right now is crazy, and the next release is only 2 weeks out, so I figured, just hold off on it. But it's here now. I'm not that late, I don't think, so it's not like the biggest deal, but still not super early either. So let me just take out the stuff here. You can start showing it. I hear my cat in the background. She just meowed. Anyway, so here are the kind of arm pieces. These are going to be fun to talk about. And of course the caps. Here's the core. And all of the armor and stuff. And of course, you can't forget the sticker sheets, which isn't really that extensive, honestly, so that's nice. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put everything together, get it all stickered up, do some testing, and then I will be back for kind of the review portion of the video, so yeah. Alright, so I now have Colamaru Energy DX all put together and stickered up. Go ahead and zoom in. So here it is. This is what it looks like. It looks very interesting. It is a very large Bottleman, which I will showcase in a moment here. But yeah, this is what it looks like. It has this very just giant size, and this is like off a little bit. Anyway, so this thing was like kind of awkward to put together because again, some of these parts just did not want to stick on, but yeah, whatever. Alright, so before I get into anything, let me just compare to the previous evolutions just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here and just get kind of an idea of how giant this thing is. This is the original Colamaru, and well, as you could probably see, it's like tiny compared to this thing. So yeah. And then even Colamaru DX, the evolution of that is, like, even this is just tiny compared to it. Like, the wingspan of this thing is crazy. And yeah, there you go. That is the comparison. So, there are some interesting features of this thing before I get into everything else, and just kind of talk about it like a review, but, so first up, these springs here, what these do, they push in on the hold parts to give a stronger shot. I will talk about the effectiveness of that and how strong this thing is in a bit. But that's what these do, that's why there's these like weird spring arm things here. But yeah, that's what they do. Also, you have some extra stability here on the bottom. These parts you can actually take off and move them outward like this, and by moving them outward you can now see this changes the level. This is used for the shorter feet, and then you can move it back this way for the kind of medium-sized feet. I don't think there's a tall mode on this thing, which is fine. I feel like the tall feet kind of suck. That's just me though, but if you're going to skip out on accommodating one of them, that's probably the one I would choose. But yeah, that's what that does. Anyway, there's also these little clips here, which you can actually add any other arms onto. Believe you could just stack these infinitely and just constantly make this stupidly giant thing. But you're supposed to use a certain Bottleman's arms here, which I will, again, get into in a moment. But, yeah. Those are kind of like the main features of this thing. I guess if you also, like, I guess this horn, you could help, like, line up your shots and stuff. But, aside from that, it's like all of the main stuff. So let me go and put this thing kind of into its special mode. There's also pieces that are supposed to go down here, which I'll put on. So let me go ahead and kind of give the final transformation of this thing. Alright, so here's kind of the extra advertised mode. These are the Colamaru arms. You kind of just take off the hands and the rubber pieces and put these here to extend the grip, basically, into, I mean, sure. It actually does work as a larger grip if you want a larger grip, but like, I mean, come on, this is getting a little ridiculous here. Let's be honest. But there's a second thing, which is that those rubber pieces from the original Colamaru DX, they can go under here. And if you put them under here, they act as kind of rubber pieces to just like, I guess, help stabilize your Bottleman here. And that's kind of what I want to talk about with this thing, and just kind of get into like the overall verdict, I guess. So with Colamaru Energy DX, is it good? Yes. The power on this thing is ridiculous. I feel like, 10 Satan DX, with its boost shot, it had a good month run of being kind of stupidly powerful. But this thing, nah, this is ridiculous. These definitely put their work in to make the shots stronger. The power on this thing is ridiculous. But that's kind of not all of this Bottleman. So, if you're familiar with Crossfight Beat'em, you might have heard of a Beat'em called Drive Garburn. And that thing basically had this idea of being both a power and speed type. I think it was called Rapid Fire back then. I'm just going to call it speed for the sake of just ease for me. But so it's a mix of power and speed. That's kind of its whole thing. It used both. This feels kind of like that, except instead of power and speed, it's power and control. I feel like they added a lot of control elements to this thing, and while it does have that ridiculous power that, yeah, it's a power type, but there's just enough control elements to make me kind of think it feels like a hybrid of a power and control type in some ways. Obviously, it's not the same as a control type, nowhere near, but like, some of the stuff here I feel like gets a little bit obvious. So first up, the grip. Having a very large grip, can help you, stability, control, all that stuff. Even expanding it to make it even larger, which that does help if you have bigger hands. But if not, this is like just large enough on its own to be a pretty big grip. Also, you can add on rubber pieces to the bottom here, which helps with stability. And I feel like that's, another kind of aspect of it. Another thing, you have these pieces. These hit the ground. They are extra pieces that just kind of, if you push down, again, you got the rubber, got those. It just helps to really give you just a lot of extra stability with this thing. And even have this little like horn up here that you could use as a sight. I mean, why not? They added a lot of control stuff onto this thing, at least in my opinion and how I see it, but yeah. It's definitely an interesting Bottleman. Definitely one of the more interesting ones. I mean, we haven't had anything really like this yet, where, this thing's gigantic. Like, it's very, very strange, but, to me, it definitely feels like a power control hybrid, kind of. Power being the more dominant one, but still. Is it a good power type? Oh yeah, for sure. And also having those control elements kind of makes it a little bit crazy, not gonna lie. So, overall, this thing, yeah, it's kind of insane, not gonna lie. I definitely recommend trying this thing out if you can. It's really cool. Definitely, in my opinion, probably the best power type so far. I was kind of split between Kerpeps DX and Ten Satan DX, but like, nah, this thing I think beats both of those. Like, I don't know who's second place, that's still a little bit contentious, but like, nah, this thing's number one. I think it's just kind of insane. And yeah, control elements just help a lot too. Power, ridiculous. So that's all I have to say about this thing. It's something else. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.